decades, Augustans have complained about the trains, and for decades, politicians have promised to get them out of the intersections, and for decades they've failed. But trains weren't always so scorned around here. Once, trains were celebrated, prized and praised for bringing presidents, war heroes, baseball teams, and northern tourists to our town. And when those people arrived here, they were not disappointed because they got off at Augusta's impressive Union Station. Built in 1902, torn down 70 years later, it dominated the block where the main post office now sits. You emerged from it into Barrett Plaza, a park square that remains, although fenced off from the taxpayers, in front of the refurbished federal courthouse at Telfair and 8th Streets. To the west of the square, you would have seen the Plaza Hotel, later called the St. James. Ty Cobb and other World Series heroes were honored with banquets there. If you proceeded up 8th, even more hotels lined the street, beckoning to travelers with so many lights it was called the Great White Way. That old train station must have been quite a sight because it's featured on so many postcards. But what happened to it? I'll tell you about that when we get back. Unfortunately, times in Augusta, Georgia in the mid-1900s began to change. People no longer had time for the leisurely travel by rail. The last train to use the old station, a Seaboard Coastline passenger train, departed without fanfare April 7, 1968. Passengers were few, the Augusta Herald reported, and there was no farewell ceremony. Within a few years, the train station itself was demolished to make way for the post office and federal office buildings. The old hotels are gone too. Few people remember when Augusta had a passenger train station. Few people remember what it was like to travel by rail. I guess you could say it was just another thing that we got off track. For more of Kirby's Augusta, subscribe to us on YouTube or check us out on AugustaChronicle.com. Thank you.